To people who don't know about you, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Rajiv Surya. From the past 4 years, I am into this UX design practice. I've done my master's in product design from School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi,
Mhm.
and I have past experiences working in a design studio in Think Design, previous to
Okay.
MindTree. And
Okay.
yes, I'm right now in the phase of AR VR designing.
Like, how is designing for AR and VR different from designing digital interfaces?
The processes are similar, but the
Okay.
tools and the understanding of the spaces is little bit different. You need to understand types of VR: fully
Okay.
immersive, semi-immersive, and non-immersive.
Okay. Can you give an example?
So fully immersive is nothing but having an Oculus headset, Quest,
Hmm.
and playing a fully immersive game with controllers and haptic gloves. Second is semi-immersive experiences are more like flight simulations, which a lot of pilots who are learning. You're still surrounded with an immersive LCD or a projection screen, but still that is not you know there is a ground reality to it. The third comes then non-immersive, and which I mostly am seeing in web VR, like
Okay.
any solutions on a web browser or on an app or on a phone, Pokemon Go, if you see, it
Hmm.
is a non-immersive, but still it's an augmented reality, or
Hmm.
it's a virtual reality. If you say mixed reality, a lot of people are saying it's coming into AR VR. When it is mixed, it's called that mixed reality and XR, extended reality.
While I was reading about VR, I read that fully immersive VR actually has some health issues related to it. Companies are not recommending people to wear a VR head for more than 30 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about that.
If you see a head mounted display, there is research done extensively that not more than 20 to 20, 30 minutes you can wear at a stretch a head mounted display for any VR experience. So
Mhm.
gaming designers also take breaks after 30-35 minutes because it leads to nausea, it leads to dizziness, it leads to headache. So a lot of
Okay.
these issues relating to your health is there.
Hmm.
You need to take out and take break. It strains your eyes for a stipulated amount of time. You need to design experiences which doesn't last more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, like to kids to perform any tasks online and immersive AR VR experiences. I can't design a VR game experience for them for more than 1 hour or 45 minutes. I need to design very small tasks for 10-20 minutes for them to actually view it, understand the concept, and get back to their normal life. It is like
Okay.
small touch points.
So what you have done is you have mentioned in a very distributed way that why is VR not going mainstream. Let's stipulate all those points together.
If you want it to come to mainstream, you need to solve problems mainstream. I need to buy groceries mainstream. I need to buy clothes or fashion. So what is that thing which you are solving in mainstream? Fully immersive is a way ahead because a lot of people are, it's dependent on the equipments. Why would I take 1 lakh or 85,000 of a Oculus or any other head mounted display? Can it be like a smartphone of less than 10,000 bucks? Mounted display companies are working to make it lightweight,
Mhm.
sophisticated, less
Mhm.
expensive. So I think so, yes, people and companies are working in this direction because they understood what is the cost which is affecting with this experience, the health issues which you have told about. And yes, this nausea, etc., you need to be very aware if you are designing for fully immersive or semi immersive. Okay,
Mhm.
keeping in mind the psychology of the person and the health of the person. And for non immersive web VR, I think so there are not much health issues right now. A lot of people are using it in their day-to-day life.
Let's talk more about the design part of VR. How do you do research in VR?
So there are two parts. Let's see immersive and non-immersive. In
Mhm.
immersive, you need to have, your users need to have that equipment, and you need to have a sharing capability of their viewing perspective. That's
Yeah.
it. I think
Yeah.
so the tools need to come, and we till then a lot of plugins will work, I think so.
Mhm.
Still researching on that. But then the non-immersive, it simply works on the angle of normal website designs which you do, remote usability testing.
I had a very interesting thought that when you're designing for digital screens, right? We have this 10 heuristic principles by NNG. So does basic like Norman's 10 heuristic principles apply similar to when you are designing in VR?
I had this doubt previously also. And when I was doing this heuristic evaluation of my pet project solution,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I went through all these heuristic principles, and
Mm-hmm.
I was figuring it out where we fell short. Like example, if you see visibility and update in a AR or VR solution, when you're doing something, like example, you're buying a IKEA furniture and you want to place it in your home, but your measurements of the room is not fitting to the bed, which your master bed which you're placing. So can I give a visibility on an update to show the user that yes, hey bro, this is not fitting, can you actually try something else? Or can
Yeah.
the system give you more empowering tools to resize the bed or do something? I'm giving you just an example.
Hmm.
Recognition, efficiency, minimal, familiarity, consistency, all these are heuristic principles. The difference between AR and VR, we need to fundamentally know. AR is nothing but you actually augmenting an existing environment, existing reality. Like I'm
Hmm.
actually customizing and modifying my real life. That is AR.
Hmm.
Pokemon Go was an augmented reality. But what VR does is that VR totally gets you into a total different artificial world, but still close to reality. It takes you totally to a different environment, which a lot of people say it reality, but it's still
Hmm.
artificial. You're created
Yeah.
with computer graphics. So yeah, these two are the difference.
What are some of the tools that you use in designing for AR and VR?
I'm extensively exploring Adobe Creative Suite
Okay.
solutions for AR solutions. Okay. And VR
Okay.
solutions also, I'll tell you. The three tools which I use for AR is right now Adobe Photoshop for creating 3D and graphics
Hmm.
also. Then there is Adobe Illustrator to create your graphics and interfaces inside augmented reality. And then there is Adobe Dimension, where you can create assets of 3D models. And there is another Adobe Aero, where we actually can use all these assets created in these three tools of Illustrator,
Hmm.
Photoshop, and Dimension inside Aero and play around our space. So that
Okay.
is a lot of design exploration. I'm seeing there's a whole potential of Aero coming into the mainstream of AR, VR, AR designing, I specifically can say. VR can be different. So I was exploring Adobe Animate also for virtual realities.
So in digital design, Rajiv, what happens is we have a constraint of a 2D screen with us, and with that we also have different screen sizes as a constraint. In VR and AR design, space is not a constraint. So how do you design when you have unlimited amount of space?
When you have unlimited canvas, as you are saying, to paint
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
so why do you want to restrain it to a specific?
So basically, to cover specific tasks, when you have to do a specific task like grocery shopping in an AR experience, there has to be some kind of constraint. You cannot be just placing elements all over the canvas.
So yes, it is very valid. You need to see to it that it's specifically designing for spaces which they have. So over there comes the relevance which I talk about. Relevance
Okay.
of use cases. Like example, I want a kid sitting on his table,
Mhm.
doing his online classes, and on the table I want him to explore a small story of Sinbad the Sailor
Yeah.
or Aladdin, if for that sake, and I'll give him the option to explore and put it in a 1:1 scale, or put it in
Hmm.
a 10:1 scale, or a 1:3 scale. It's
Hmm.
totally upon you. Okay,
Okay.
so that power or empowerment should be given to users, but thoughtfully thinking that what is the spaces which they will be mostly be using. Like example, if a kid is going outside and learning football, so can I restrain it to just a tabletop?
No,
I
you
need to
cannot.
explore the whole field. Okay,
Okay.
Pokemon
Cool.
Go.
Yeah.
Go had a big canvas. You
Hmm.
can't restrain it to just your home environments, right?
Got it.
There again comes IKEA, which is totally different. IKEA actually tells you to measure your space so that
Hmm.
it calibrates and gives you solution for that space.
I think the context depends. Context matters. Context.
Context strongly depends, and
Hmm.
the empowerment of that context to the users is more important.
I don't have any further questions around AR VR from you, Rajiv. Thank you for doing this. And before we sign off, where can people find you on the internet?
I thank you for inviting me and sharing this space with you. It should help a lot of people, folks, aspiring designers, AR, VR designers who are coming, who or any designer who wants to
Yeah.
come into for designing the spaces, because a lot of
Mm.
people on LinkedIn are getting in touch with me. So
Yeah.
through this medium, I would like to say that in couple of weeks, I'm working on a holistic research document on the different resources and tools for AR, VR designing specifically.
Okay.
Okay, so for every stage I'm coming up with this document or this blog, so we'll be sharing it in a couple of weeks on my LinkedIn and other handles, so you can
Okay.
get in touch with me on my page called Design Jam on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You can check, And my name is Rajiv Surya. You can check it on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned, and all the folks who are interested in AR VR, will. I hope this content will be helpful for you.
We'll put all the links, all the social media profiles of Rajiv in the description below. And Rajiv also does this little experiments on LinkedIn where he puts the AR VR in the real world and he uses software like Adobe Aero, which whatever he mentioned. And they're very cool experiment. You should definitely check that out. I'll put that in the links below as well. So thank you, Rajiv. Thank you for doing this, and hope this is helpful for the people who are watching this.
Thank you, Manav. It was a pleasure interacting.
Yeah.